You are about to opt in to Monerotopia, a show for the Monero community where all are welcome to join. From noob to maxi, no matter what bags you hold. Just sit back and relax to the sweet sounds of Monero's latest progress. Or if you're feeling inspired, join us on stage. Remember, the only thing that can stop Monero is a false belief that it can be stopped. And if you want to win the revolution faster, we recommend you remove your XMR from all custodial exchanges immediately. Warning, voting accidents are common around here. Don't forget to properly secure your private keys. Monerotopia starts now.
All right.
All righty. Good morning. Cheerios.
Tweeting or texting our guest.
Cheerios. Happy
Cheers.
Saturday, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy Saturday morning. How's it going, everyone?
Is this gratuitous? We got gratuitous? What do we got here?
We do not have gratuitous.
I didn't think, I was like,
How's it going, guys? Good
becoming
morning.
a coffee snob.
Becoming?
You just get used to your coffee.
It is really good coffee.
Like, even if it's not good coffee, you get used to your coffee. Like there's people that they drink Dunkin' Donuts every day.
Yeah.
They just want Dunkin' Donuts. I don't like
well,
it.
you don't like Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Do you like Starbucks?
I do like Starbucks. I like Starbucks. A lot of people think it's just like burnt coffee. It is, but I like it. So I'm not really a coffee snob. I'm just like
your beans really dark.
Yeah. Well, with the gratuitous though, I like I like what we do with that, and that's not dark. That's like a medium.
No, it's a medium.
Yeah. Like true coffee snobs don't like super roasted coffee because then you don't really get the full
flavor.
Flavor.
That's true.
So I'm not.
So you're not a coffee snob.
You're
okay,
a coffee
guys.
snob.
Oh yes, totally. Hence the sarcasm here.
So what's going on?
Nothing much. Just preparing for our awesome conference.
Yeah, it's heating up. It's getting. We have competition now, though.
Yes, we do.
Well, we already had competition because we were trying to compete against Bitcoin 2022, which is getting like 35,000 people. And
it's not a lot of people.
We're not trying to compete. We're just trying to ride along it and get some people to come to Monerotopia down the block. But now there's Guns and Bitcoin.
Yeah, but it's good because we're in the middle of it. We're in the middle of all the action. So.
Well, in terms of date, we're first, right?
No. Well, no. The Bitcoin conference, the whale day, quote unquote, starts like Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, Thursday. I think it starts the day we start, right? We're April 7th.
Yep, April 7th, that Thursday.
Right. Yeah. So Bitcoin whale day is on Wednesday or Thursday.
I believe it's on Wednesday. But
okay.
Well, doesn't really it just starts. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's whale day or not, but I believe it starts Wednesday, and then Thursday is our conference.
Right. No, I think whale day is. Check it. I think whale day. I know. Maybe you're right. April 6th.
Yeah.
Okay.
April
is whale
6th.
day.
So it's like we're in the middle of all the action. So it should be fun.
Getting some
feedback. Hello.
That's all right.
How's it going?
So whale day starts, and then Monerotopia is the day after. So I guess it's the first day of the real Bitcoin conference. And I thought we made it so we coincide with whale day, though. Whatever, doesn't matter at this point.
I mean, everyone's going to be showing up probably like Wednesday night, Thursday. So we'll get a nice batch of people coming in. But yeah, we're really excited about this conference that we're preparing. Come for and chill.
Wait, hold on. This guy's asking for the link. It's on the Twitter link.
It's on the Twitter link. We have a guest.
You want to just send me the StreamYard so I could send it over to him?
My phone is the camera.
Can you email?
Yes, I can email you the link.
He said I'll find it. So
okay. Just don't have to go on Twitter. And he'll find the link.
So yeah, we got Monerotopia the day after Whale Day.
Yep.
Whatever. But then there's Guns and Bitcoin right after Bitcoin 2022, which is also, I thought it was in Austin.
Yeah, I heard.
But it's also Miami.
So everyone's going to be in Miami. Woo! Bunch of crypto people hanging.
So that should be cool. And then Guns and Bitcoin really is, in terms of Monero, obviously Monero, you don't get more Monero than Monerotopia.
Really?
Then you have, but Guns and Bitcoin is kind of like the in-between, right? Because now they're integrating Monero into their conference, that's cool.
That's
big
really
news.
cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can pay with Bitcoin and Monero, which is awesome. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they added that to the store, but they're also adding the Monero topics to the conference itself.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Which was very controversial among the Bitcoiners.
Yeah.
So that's nice to see. So we're actually going to be at Guns of Bitcoin too. We were invited to be the media there, so we're going to go there.
So we'll be there. It'll be nonstop action in Miami.
Reporting on Guns and Bitcoin. Seth, I think, is going to be speaking there, which is really cool. So it's nice to see. That's exactly what we want to. I mean, part of me is like, oh, it's competing against Monerotopia, but the other part, I mean, this is exactly what we want. So thanks, Guns and Bitcoin.
I know. Thank you. And thanks for letting us record that Twitter space, which actually was a hit.
Oh, yeah. We did the Twitter space with Guns and Bitcoin where...
It was like on Monday. Yeah, right. Monday night.
It became so controversial that they wanted to do a Twitter space on it.
So we have that on our channel. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's a really good... it's a 2-hour session.
Yeah, we basically talk about Bitcoin versus Monero. Which anybody that watches this show, we talk about that all the time. But it was cool because there were a lot of Bitcoiners in the room and we had a civil conversation. There were a few, there was like one like maxi extremist at the end.
There always is.
But we even kind of won her over too. Not won her over, but to the point where she was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I'll go check that out. I thought, so progress. This is progress, guys.
Hashtag progress. Yes.
People are beginning to look at Monero more. People that are already, that are already Bitcoin maxified are beginning to consider Monero, which is exactly what we want to see. And I just feel like Monero's heating up more in general.
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously keep a very close watch on it. So I think my anecdotal feeling is a good one. It just seems to be in the zeitgeist more, Granted, everybody I follow on Twitter that follows me is already in Monero, but I'm starting to see it just pop up more.
And hopefully this wonderful conference will help too. Our Monerotopia.
Oh yeah. Maybe Monero will be peaking and it's in the bull market as we have the conference, which is, or probably not, but which is why we're bringing this guest on today, and he's going to be talking about the organized pulling off Monero keys from exchanges. So there's a group that started on Telegram. It's called the Monero Run, I believe.
Yeah, the Monero exchange.
And they're trying to essentially, get the word out to everybody that we need to pull our Monero. We've been saying it all the time, but now trying to do it in a more organized fashion. I think even like trying to do it around a certain time or certain day, maybe even during Monerotopia, which would be cool. So we'll have that guy on to talk about that. We need to talk about, why don't you put the website up?
Yeah, I did. I was waiting for you to.
So what are our developments?
We have more speakers, right, that are interested in speaking at the conference. We
have Arctic Mine. So you want to scroll down?
Ooh.
So we have Daniel Kim. Wait, go up. Oh no, go down. You're right. Sorry, go down. Daniel Kim, he's already up. He was up there, but he wasn't totally confirmed. Now he is. We can change that on there, so it's no longer to be confirmed. He is confirmed. At the worst case, he would have to do it remotely, but he's in. And hopefully he'll be there in person. Obviously, that'll make for a much better experience and presentation, and then we get to chill and talk with him. But he is in, even if it means he has to be remote. And fingers crossed he'll actually be there. Howard, same thing. He's in. But he may have to be remote. Some of this has to do with, people not sure and whether or not they could travel, and also just, it's
Good old COVID.
a little too far ahead. But they're in. Worst case being remote, best case being there in person. What else we got?
We got her.
And then we get Arctic. We added Arctic. He is confirmed. He will be there, which is awesome. So the way it's shaping up now, so like Arctic, be talking about scaling. Howard obviously talking about mining decentralization. We wanted to get Lee Claggett to join. We're reaching out to him.
We're trying to reach out to him. That'd be awesome.
We could talk about, the decentralization of, the network itself, the privacy of the network itself. He works on things like I2P and Dandelion ++, and he's always improving Monero's networking ability. So it'd be cool to have that. We'd cover that topic as well. We can kind of cover all the main components, right? And then the other main component I'd say would be just the privacy on the protocol level. So somebody to come talk about that. So the improvements that we would be seeing with Seraphis and other potential improvements. And that would cover a lot of, the core fundamentals of Monero. So mining decentralization, the scalability of Monero, the privacy of Monero on the protocol level, the privacy of Monero on the networking level. And then obviously Daniel Kim, which would kind of tie it all together with the big overview of why Monero, why he believes Monero, is potentially here to stay. And he says it better than anyone, right? His arguments for why we should all be paying attention to Monero. So he'll tie that all together. And then we have Chris Sky. I've been texting with him. He's just he's extremely, he gave his phone number out to the entire world. So you're competing against a lot of, he's a busy guy. He deals with a lot of people. He has I don't know, many followers, and he tries to interact with as many people as he can. So it's hard to get his attention. But he said he's in. And the quick text. Oh no, he sent me the voice message. Audio. Play them on there. That would actually be funny.
That'd be funny.
Maybe he doesn't want us to do that.
Yeah, it's not.
we just love his style, right? His voice.
Yeah, his voice.
So he said
passionate.
Yes.
He's passionate.
He said yes, he'd be there.
And all again depends on COVID restrictions, obviously, because he is in Canada. So
now we got some backlash. From one person in the community that's saying Chris has got some very controversial opinions and things he's been saying, and the stuff that they sent me and accused him of, it's kind of disgusting things that you wouldn't want to associate with. But I'm giving the guy the benefit of the doubt for now. I'll take a deeper look into it, but I am, I'm for giving people the benefit of the doubt. I want him there talking as a free speech advocate and explaining why he thinks something like Monero, which is free speech money, is vital, especially in this day and age. And that's why I'm interested in having him. It doesn't mean I agree with every word that comes out of his mouth. I most certainly I could tell you right now I don't, without even knowing what's coming out, because that doesn't apply to anybody. But I'm leaning towards really wanting. He has a tremendous following, and his following are people that are concerned about the current direction of society with regards to governments becoming more tyrannical. He, anybody that saw my show with him, he was one of the first people to predict where things were going to head with regards to mandating vaccines and the masks. And, he's a little over the top. He comes across as a conspiracy theorist a little bit, but what's scary is a lot of what he said in his prediction about COVID came true. So I'm not saying the guy is Nostradamus, but he has a good feel for the encroachment of when governments are encroaching upon our liberties, and he puts out the siren call when he sees it happening. And his following are people that share these concerns. And so these are people that you would want to make aware of Monero, because Monero, as we all know, is a potential solution to these issues, right? So as we see governments become more tyrannical, and as we see the erosion of free speech with things like censorship happening on platforms, and basically all the concerns that are coming from surveillance capitalism, right? As we see all that start to progress, something like Monero becomes more and more clear that something like Monero is potentially the solution. So I like the fact that he has this following of people that would be interested in this solution called Monero. And so it's good for him to get the word out to his people. And so if he comes, I'm sure we will get the attention of his followers as well. So that's why I'm interested in having Chris on and to hear what he has to say. Anything else we want to talk? Oh, I guess the ticket price itself.
Yeah. Right now we have come and get your tickets. We are offering an early adopter tickets at $59.
Super cheap.
Super cheap.
Might be too cheap.
Yeah, might be too cheap, but hey, we want people to come and learn and hang out with each other.
It's our first conference, so we don't want to oversell it. So $59. Maybe once we get better at this, then we would have more confidence. But we didn't want to we want to make sure everybody's getting the value of what we're trying to offer here. So super good price, especially when you look at like Bitcoin 2020. Like, I don't know, it's like hundreds of dollars, right? Like, what is Bitcoin?
Yeah, Bitcoin is at like 500, and that's the early bird. So this is like the early bird special.
And Guns and Bitcoin is like hundreds of dollars.
Like 250 or something like that.
And when you look at what our conference is shaping up to be, it's going to be definitely more intimate than Bitcoin 2022. Definitely more intimate.
Oh yeah, definitely.
By scales of 100x, which is a good thing. So you'll be in the room
be a more intimate setting.
Yeah, more intimate
with
setting.
Like-minded people. Just kind of like hang out.
Direct access to the speakers that are talking.
We've been looking at a few venues, trying to figure out the best venue.
Yeah, we basically we didn't totally grab this one, right? But I think we know.
Yeah, I think we're leaning towards. Ooh, surprise! A suspense.
So if we had it down to two, we were going to go one way. Now it looks like we're going the other way, and it's a nice venue, and it's in walking distance. It's very cool, very classy.
Cool.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah. So. Our only hesitation, it's actually perfect for our needs, especially for the talks. Right, there's a little stage, but it's a historic site. It's very cool.
It's really pretty. It's really nice.
It's very nice inside. Our only hesitation was the bar. They don't want us. We can't bring our own alcohol
Beverages.
And liquor vendors. And the reason we wanted to do that is so that because we're going to have a cash bar, actually a Monero bar, so you can pay with Monero for your drinks. But we don't want to be ripping people off. We want the drinks to basically be at cost, so everybody can have a good time. But they're not going to let us do that. So we're trying to work on them with that to just keep the drink prices super low. So they'll run the open bar for us. And they said they do that because this isn't like some like big venue. It's like kind of a mom and pop type place.
Yeah. So. Again, yeah. It's a really cool venue.
And then we're going to try to get them to get the alcohols that we like. So they have some, good top shelf vodka and mezcal. And then we're going to have our specialty cocktails, right, that we want them to make.
Yeah.
So that was our only hold up with that. But I think that's going to work out. We're going to make it work. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, I guess the only other thing to say about Monerotopia is the $59 price isn't going to – we're going to bump it up. I don't know when, pretty soon. So if you're thinking about going to Monerotopia, definitely jump on it because we're going to bump it all the way up to $100 and then eventually up to, what do we have? 125.
125. Yeah.
We're just going to need to do that so we can cover our costs. So that's going up soon. So grab a
buy
ticket.
them now, guys. Buy them now. $59. And yeah, special thanks to Untraceable. He's been helping us.
Oh yeah,
behind the scenes
in a major way. Helped us with the website.
Thank you so much. You've been the best.
Providing us opinions on, speakers to add, and he's been helping us in a very large way.
Yeah, pretty awesome. So thank you very, very much. And thanks to Chill and Matt that came up with this cool video. Actually, I wanted to show it to everyone. A little promo video. It was very cute.
They talked about it on their show too.
Yeah. It's pretty cute. Hold on, stop sharing. I gotta share again. Share that file. So it's a really cute video. I call it Monerotopia chill video. Here we go. It's like awesome. I love it. Very relaxing, very zen. Thanks, Chill.
That doesn't make you want to go to Monerotopia. I don't know what will. I mean,
let's play it again, guys.
She truly captured it. That is Monerotopia.
It is. Love it. Awesome job.
What I love about this too is, I mean, this is the first annual, right, in Miami, but who knows where Monerotopia is going to head next, right?
Yeah, who knows? Ooh, again, more suspense.
Tropical and Topia-esque. So get in now, guys. Get in
now. 9 for $59.
Monero's at $10,000. I mean, where's the Monerotopia conference going to be? It's going to be incredible.
Awesome. So yeah, I guess let's what?
I just want to make sure I have my notes here, but I can't really read them. We covered everything. Oh, gratuitous. Yeah, because Untraceable was helping us out with that as well. We're trying to update the gratuitous website. We spoke about that on the show, obviously, quite a bit. So gratuitous is moving along. People are ordering coffee. But we're trying to up our game with that as well.
Yeah.
We want to add new products, but we're just going to rebuild the whole website. So currently the website runs on, what is it called? USWID?
USWID.
And it's something we just picked because it allows us to get it up and running really quick. But now that we built Monerotopia from scratch using WordPress, now that we're professionals with WordPress.
Yes, professionals.
Where, and Untraceable helped us a lot with that. We're going to be rebuilding Gratuitous on WordPress, and that allows us to then do some of these things we want to do with Gratuitous, create separate pages for each of the products. Right now, it really only is coffee, but long-term vision. And then we're going to have it so when people, right now we have the QR codes. They're on the bags of coffee when you order the coffee, or if you serve the coffee in person, which we'll be doing at Monerotopia. It has the QR code.
Oh, we will.
And the way it works now is you scan the QR code and it opens up your Monero wallet. But we're going to have the QR code instead open up to a gratuitous website page for the coffee, which then explains the concept a little deeper of how you could tip the farmers, what you can do, or how to do it, how to obtain crypto if you don't have it already, obviously Monero. And then we're going to allow people to tip in any crypto. So we're integrating with Now Payments. We use Now Payments on Monerotopia website. It's working great. Actually, that's the only way you could currently buy a ticket is with crypto. And, you can use essentially any crypto you want. And we don't care because it instantly converts it into Monero, and then Monero is sent to us. So ha ha ha. So whether you use Dogecoin or Shiba, I don't even know if Shiba is out there. Go ahead. You can use your shit coins to buy Monerotopia tickets, and we'll get it in Monero. So we're going to apply the same thing to Gratuitous so people can tip in any crypto. And we think this is because we want to open up the idea. Obviously, we love Monero, but we want to capture those people who may not know about Monero yet, but are interested in this concept of being able to tip the farmers with crypto. And so I think once we add that, we'll be able to then market Gratuitous beyond the Monero community as well. And then same thing, we're going to have the actual tip be converted and sent off to the farmers in Monero. Maybe we'll also offer another option where if you have Monero, you could tip directly in that, and that just would lower some of the transaction fees. So you could either use the now payments option, tip in any crypto, and it gets transferred into Monero and the tips get sent out that way, or you could tip directly with Monero to the farmers, saving on transaction fees or whatever. So the farmers get more. So that's going to be awesome once we get that up and running. I think that's a major thing. Oh, and then the coffee itself. We have what is his name? In Portland, we have somebody who's helping us out. He's going to awesome. Be roasting the coffee on demand for us. If this all works out.
So
we're waiting for the green beans.
We're hoping. We're waiting for those green beans.
The beans are currently coming roasted, right? The beans that we order from the farm, they get shipped up to us by FedEx, already roasted and packaged. But now we're going to ask them to ship it to us green. And we're going to have this guy basically roasting them on demand. So as orders come in, the coffee will be roasted and shipped out.
Fresher coffee, delicious coffee.
Yeah. So buy some gratuitous, guys. Keeps us moving.
It does. It really helps us out. So thanks to those that have bought. Gotten a few orders.
Yeah. Keeps us going. Especially the subscriptions. So if you get like a consistent order, that really helps us out a lot. So we're not having to.
James, I just try to get Doug to go shirts off to take these Monerotopia shows up a notch. Sex sells. This is true, James.
Maybe at the Monerotopia conference.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, stay tuned, guys. Buy those tickets for $59. And maybe, just maybe, you'll get a little view of this. Anywho, the sound is great. Okay, great.
Oh, our guest is on, but do we have any comments coming in? We have a lot of comments coming in.
Yeah, we do. Whenever we're ready, we have our guest.
Yeah, let's just check the comments for a second. And I'll go through this. I didn't get all the ragging on guns of Bitcoin, like a merchant adding Monero, and all these little cockroaches come out of nowhere. I'm not sure what he's getting
Which
at
comment?
there. Something with the guns and Bitcoin adding. Yeah, I don't know why it was controversial. It shouldn't have been controversial at all. Somebody wrote us an email on the topic of what now, because I'm only seeing the comment now, but I'm sure I got your email. All right, let's bring the guest on.
Let's bring him on. You ready?
Bitcoin conference was a disaster. Yeah, it was way too maxi.
Yeah, it was too maxi. Yeah,
way too maxi.
There were a lot of people that went. Jesus.
Guys, that's the other thing too. We're pretty much there with our guests. We can't have too many more because it's a one-day conference and we don't want it to just be talks all day. Like we want people chilling in the venue in between the talks. We're going to have our DJ going, the drinks flowing. And we're going to try to have it go late night too. So it starts at 10. We want it to go to like 11 o'clock at night so then we can have talks throughout. And I think, as people spend the entire day together, it will get more interesting.
Yeah.
But any other big names, like maybe we're gonna probably only add like one or two more speakers, maybe a few more, I guess, if we're going to midnight.
Yeah, right? Might as well.
But any big names, let us know.
Suggestions,
we're trying to get Eric Voorhees. I think that would be a cool one.
If anyone has any connections to get all these guests, like please reach out to us.
Yeah, so I'm working on a connection there. We'll give credit if we actually land them. But any other big names like that you think we could actually get, or that maybe you even have a connection to, think outside the box. It doesn't have to be a strictly Monero person, like the Chris Sky example. Somebody with a large following that's, a liberty loving individual that might be interested in talking about free speech money. People like that. Big names. A Max Kaiser would be cool, but he probably wouldn't do it at this point. He's so maxied out.
He's too cool for us.
That's why I think Eric Voorhees would do it.
I hope so.
Because he's disgusted with the maxi movement. Somebody said
that was the
Max
email.
and back when it comes to Monero. Newsom. Yeah, we're trying to get maybe some political figures or a political figure to come and talk about Monero. That'd be cool. I'm working on that as well. I'm working on a big Monero Talk show. I won't talk about it yet because it may fall through, but I'm trying to get a congressman on that I would think might be a little friendly to Monero. In terms of what I've heard him say so far, definitely friendly towards Bitcoin. He hasn't really said the M word too much, but trying to get him on this show to start talking about that. But maybe we get somebody like that at the conference as well. But let's get the guest on. We made him wait long enough.
We made him wait long enough.
Sorry about that.
No. There you go. Hi, how's it going? Can you hear us?
Hey, man.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Just the sounds loud and clear.
Yes. Do you have a voice disguiser on, or is that just your normal ominous voice?
Is that interfering too much? Sorry.
Okay. I thought you were trying to hide your identity. Well, you are in a way trying to hide your identity, right? I mean,
Yeah. I didn't want just a slight distortion, because at the end of the day, I don't want Interpol or the FBI on my case.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to bring you on. We saw that there's, people have been talking about for quite some time the manipulation that might be happening with Monero on exchanges. There seems to be more and more evidence building up pointing towards that. It's all, circumstantial. There's no real hard evidence, obviously, but it seems like something is going on there with exchanges selling paper Monero. And then so everybody's been saying, well, what's the solution? One of the solutions being, obviously, well, if we all take our Monero off of exchanges, then they won't be able to manipulate it any longer. And that's what you're trying to do, right? That's the initiative you're trying to push forward and trying to organize it?
Yeah, so from what I understood, the Monero community in general was quite aware. Well, they had suspicions throughout in 2021, they began to grow. And personally, in the May correction of the crypto market, it became quite obvious that, at least on Binance, it was heavily being overshorted compared to the other cryptos. If you look at the Wix on the 20th of May, the percentage that it dropped from its highs in that month, compared to other cryptos, it's obvious that there was more Monero being sold relative on that exchange compared to people selling their other cryptos, because people want to liquidate their bags during a correction to preserve their funds. So you say there's no hard evidence. In my opinion, I've got all the evidence I need now to I know there's manipulation, price suppression on Binance, at least the biggest centralized exchange. So I actually I created the Monero exchange run group about a month ago. Before I had the idea, so I just made that group so I didn't forget about the idea, because obviously with a lot of things going on, but it's not something to ignore. And then recently it appears that members of the Monero community started to relatively voice their concerns and opinions about this. So, and then even yourself or Monerotopia, you're advising the community to withdraw from exchanges. So the idea is to not only spread awareness, to not just suggest we withdraw Monero from exchanges. It's to have a set date, or everyone is consciously preparing to withdraw Monero. in 2022, likely, the anticipated bear market will cause, logically, people around the crypto community will want to hide profits. There'll be new millionaires, new crypto millionaires, billionaires. They can't hide all their funds, but logically, we will see naturally a greater purchase of Monero at the end of this bull cycle anyway. So to have the Monero community consciously trying to coordinate and spread more awareness to the newcomers to Monero as well. Likely, we could see a scenario earlier on in the year where Binance was short squeezed. They didn't have enough Monero for users to withdraw their funds. So the idea is, if we have a sustained attack on Binance, so beyond when they start halting the withdrawals, we want to keep up withdrawal pressure. So Binance will have no choice, these centralized exchanges will have no choice but to slowly, there might be some bumps in the way, but they will slowly have to buy back, they would have to, whether they have bots or, if there's actually, this is human, humans trying to take advantage of Monero's privacy nature and take advantage of the fact that, their reserves can't be audited. There's no transparency in the amount of Monero they hold. They wouldn't, some exchanges, they hold withdrawals for months at a time, but it's, if Binance has a reputation, they have to comply with financial regulations themselves, and to be honest, there's an aspect of Monero that can be compliant with financial regulations. So essentially, if you know about the short squeeze on game, as we saw earlier on in the year with the what's it called, the Reddit group, they started a short squeeze on silver as well. This is just applying the same principle to Monero, and if and also the analogy of a bank run in terms of, in the real world, in history, what we know that banks centralized companies that hold people's funds because they were trusted to. They don't have the reserves to let everyone withdraw their physical cash at the same time. So obviously this would cause the banks to collapse. Banks would collapse overnight if everyone in the world everyone in a nation decided to withdraw their government fiat currency at the same time. However, this applied to Monero, applied to a banks, their solution would be to print more money. Central bank would just print more money. This would, this would inflate the currency. Whereas, with the embedded scarcity in blockchain cryptocurrency, the only solution would then be for the centralized exchanges would be to buy more Monero for the reserves, and therefore, obviously, a side effect, an intended effect would be for Monero's price to be, would start to see the end of the real price of Monero, basically, because I think we all agree the fundamentals of Monero. The bullish case, I challenge anyone to bring forth a cryptocurrency with a more bullish case than Monero in regards to utility. And most cryptos are a promise coin. Monero fulfills its promise, and right now is a victim of its own success in terms of the success of fulfilling its own promise of the private by default protocol. So, I mean,
Yeah.
this sorry, go on.
No, I I think this is great that you're now organizing it. Are you seeing momentum build there? Obviously, on our show, we say it all the time, take your keys off. So I like the idea that now it's going to be an organized effort. It's going to come down to a day or a period of time. We could, get the word out around it. We have time to get the word out, and everybody can take action and pull their keys off the exchanges at the same time, right? That's the idea. Are you seeing momentum build there? Obviously, we have you on Monerotopia now, so I imagine we're building up some momentum and getting the word out. Does it feel like that?
It does feel within the Monero community, it should be standard to withdraw your Monero from exchanges. But to be honest, I hold Monero equity on my exchange instead of Bitcoin, because because of the fundamentals and fundamentals of Monero. And to be honest, I don't like Bitcoin. I don't like I have problems with it. Monero is better. Monero, it's not a surveillance coin. I will use Monero at the end of the day when I want to transfer my funds or withdraw any funds from my exchange. I will withdraw my Monero. However, in terms of, we have traders, whether they margin trade or spot trade to accumulate more of the funds, they need equity on the exchange to do that. So realistically, you asked me if I'm seeing more momentum. To be honest, when this Monero run group started picking up, I tried to make it clear, and I didn't anticipate any, significant change in momentum initially, because I knew you have to take into account the greater cryptocurrency cycle, and the fact that people are trying to make money here. They do use exchanges to make, to trade and accumulate funds. So I was always expecting. I didn't have any expectations of an increased momentum initially, to be honest. I don't expect any. I don't want. Firstly, I don't want people to exhaust their funds in exchanges when the time comes, because at the end of the day, people will be depositing Monero probably at the same rate that the relatively not a small Monero community, but the effect of trying to confluence this movement at the same time as the greater crypto community will be withdrawing their funds it's more likely that our end goal will be achieved.
You mean timing it with the end of the bull market would be the goal?
Basically, yeah. To take into account the greater reality of things, and also confluencing it maybe with Havana, a decentralized exchange, Bitcoin, Monero, atomic swaps. All these things together will make it more likely that there's a short squeeze on Binance in terms of the amount of users wanting to withdraw real Monero into their non-custodial wallet, and the liquidity being traded on that exchange. So, do I think if there was no other factors regarding like a greater withdrawal from profits of the alt season, greater crypto cycle, and if there was no atomic swaps or real utility of Monero, this movement alone, realistically, it wouldn't really have an impact, to be honest. Well, we'll see, but we have to use all our potential weapons here in terms of knowledge about the cycles and the developments of the Monero community.
Yeah, I mean, I see it as a positive no matter what, because we want people using Monero the right way, which is peer-to-peer and off of exchanges. So, even if, maybe the manipulation isn't real. Like you said, you think that, there's a lot of evidence, but let's assume we're wrong here and it's not even happening. We should still be taking our Monero off exchanges anyway. So coordinating this effort and doing it in a way where we all do it at the same time, and for marketing purposes, getting the word. I think it's a win-win, because we just start to train people to do that. And I think the Monero community in general is kind of being pushed to the fringes. And I think those are all, good things. It's bad, maybe bad for the price at sometimes, but it's good for the Monero long run because people start to use it the correct way. They're using it peer to peer. They're starting to avoid exchanges, using decentralized exchanges and other means like atomic swaps. So Monero is just becoming stronger and stronger in that respect, that it's actually used in the most decentralized way possible. So that's why I think what you're trying to do is a win-win no matter what the outcome is, because it's just going to further get that meme out there of, not your keys, not your coins, take your Monero off the exchanges.
Yeah, for sure, I agree. And by nature, when people come to Monero and when they understand the use case, that when it comes to people are more likely to withdraw Monero into a non-custodial wallet than, Shiba Inu. People want to keep Shiba Inu on an exchange to sell that pump. Whereas when it comes to the time of, you want to secure some profit, secure some funds, naturally people will naturally take that Monero off instead of the Shiba Inu. So it's more waiting for a greater awakening of the wider crypto community in terms of being conscious to the war on privacy and freedom. So back to your point of the message of withdrawing the Monero. So obviously we're setting a date, a symbolic date for the Monero run, but obviously the run up, before this date, obviously it is essential that people are withdrawing whatever Monero they can before this date. So slowly we're draining up the. It'll be good to try dry up the reserve before this date, and then having some big players being able to have more of an impact on that date, and then also sustain the pressure for withdrawals. So, and obviously having a date, it will create some sort of warning and fear. It will like buy the news sort of thing, buy the rumors and such in a way. Like people will. People know that the consequence of this will be halting withdrawals, and so in anticipation of this, this will also help people decide to make the withdrawals of Monero. And then obviously it's about before the date, then trying to have a big impact on that date, but also it is about there needs to still be withdrawal pressure after that date, because there will still be people from the dark web wanting to clean out their Monero. People are still depositing Monero at the same time because of its utility as a currency, which is good, but we have to be aware that maybe the only argument that the price is not being manipulated of Monero is because it is the primarily used currency on the dark web right now. So this obviously will cause selling pressure. So
right, it has real velocity. It's actually being used and sent around.
Exactly.
But go ahead.
Go on. I just wanted to highlight the time scale of this movement or attack, because I want to highlight it's not an event. It's not like a one-day event. This is when I did a poll on the group if people which quarter of 2022 would be more appropriate in people's minds, and realistically it is the event is the quarter of the year. It is going to have to be a sustained high pressure on exchanges during this period, more from the event and onwards. Serious withdrawals from players who have money in other cryptos, and then taking that decision to put it in Monero, then to put more selling withdrawal pressure on the exchange.
How do you get the GameStop crowd, those guys, to start looking at this and participating?
Well, I think what we have in common with the GameStop guys is, we understand we have the same enemies. Well, we understand our enemies in terms of the financial establishments. We understand the problem, and we want to, in a way, cause disruption. The GameStop, they want to make money and they want to make a point, and they want to make disruption based on that point. So I think we have that in common, and I think if that community understands, well, we're in the same boat, and what Monero can offer in terms of disruption to the financial establishment, because they with the silver short squeeze that eventually caught on in that community, they had to firstly they had to obviously understand the why silver, why short squeeze silver. I support physical silver for sure, because I understand what that means to hold it, and the manipulation and problem of people being their own banks against this tyrannical central banking regime we find ourselves in.
Is the word getting out to that community, you think?
To be honest, I'm personally not too concerned about trying to spread the movement too fast, too soon. I think that definitely the time will come. I've always stressed that there is no, at this point in time in the year, I want to keep our powder dry. I don't want to kind of lose momentum. Obviously, I know we have a lot of momentum to use, but if we kind of exhaust momentum and enthusiasm, it's not strategical to do that, to exhaust momentum and enthusiasm. So for sure, there are very enthusiastic people right now about this, but to spread that enthusiasm for a whole year or something, it's just not realistic. So that's why I want to maybe, for sure, when the time is right, or when it comes to nearer the point in time, to really try to gather momentum from other communities.
So closer to the event, perhaps.
For sure, and perhaps in 2022, when we see CNBC talking about crypto again in terms of shock, and probably when we hit six-figure Bitcoin, likely we'll see more attention on the sector.
When are you aiming to have this peak? I obviously said it'll be over. It's not going to come down to one day, but what?
Yeah, but it's obviously the date, the official date, quote unquote. It's obviously it would be symbolic, more symbolic in a way. But I think we've nailed it down to either the 18th of April. So obviously this is just between Q1 and Q2 anyway. 18th of April, which is the 8th anniversary of Monero's launch. And there was another suggestion last night about the was it the 8th of April or 7th of April?
I threw out
Monerotopia's event.
Yeah, that's when we're doing the Monerotopia conference. So it would just be cool to
yes.
Maybe even have you on stage. I don't know, with the mask on, talking about.
For sure, I will definitely try and
He's like, I'll try.
Be that face.
So that'd be cool. To have it on Monerotopia. So consider that. That'd be awesome. But the 18th is good too. And then we could still have the rally cry, during Monerotopia, getting the word out. Maybe it's kind of starting to really spread at that point. And then there's another 10 days until the official date. So that would be cool too, the 18th. But obviously, I'm voting for the 7th. On the 7th. What's that?
It would be cool to see a 5-figure Monero at that date, right?
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd make for a really good party.
The great after party.
Cool, man. So what do you suggest people that are listening to this, what do you recommend they do to participate? I see some people are like, well, I already, all my Moneros are already off the exchange. I'm one of those people as well. But that doesn't mean you can't help, spread the word and be behind this movement of trying to get other people.
Yeah, if anything, I want to actually mention in terms of maybe it's tempting on the group to share how much you win Monero with the drawing. I don't want to even just a fraction of Monero being withdrawn, or 1 Monero, it's actually, when you actually appreciate the 80 million supply, every little bit of Monero being withdrawn is actually, it makes a difference. So if anything, keep the amount of Monero you're withdrawing to yourself, because I want to emphasize, when you actually appreciate, it's got around the same supply as Bitcoin, but people are only withdrawing, common person is only withdrawing fractions or a couple of Bitcoin. So, and obviously the Monero community being aware of Monero at this price right now, we have access to a larger part of the supply, right? So, a fraction of Monero might seem much, but it's the same as a fraction of a Bitcoin, really. Every little bit helps in terms of withdrawing. That's the first thing I actually want to make clear. And secondly, trying to accumulate whatever funds you can on exchanges and take it out of Monero. That is, motivate yourself to money you have to make, and withdraw that money in Monero.
Right. So if you're accumulating, if you're one of these people that's accumulating Monero now,
not just Monero though, what I mean? People like to trade other, people like to futures trade and such. Yeah, and these people who trade futures in USDT and take, most people in the crypto community, I think, are still unaware of Monero. They are still unaware of it. Private by default cryptocurrency. I'm being honest. Most people have not a clue what when if you actually understand Monero and then can put the pieces together and how that can benefit you financially. It sells itself, Monero, really. When people actually understand, the power it gives you.
Yeah, part of the reason why most people don't know about it. Well, most new people, right? So people that got into crypto, within the last couple of years don't really know about Monero.
Yeah. I think we all actually overestimate how many people know Monero in terms of, obviously everyone sees it on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, but I think the Monero community actually overestimate how many people how much the wider crypto community know of, let alone understands, what Monero truly is.
Right. It's like, what percentage of people that own Shiba Inu know about Monero?
Exactly. You're not even just Shiba Inu.
Unfortunately, a pretty small percentage, I would say, right?
Yeah. And not even just that, the new coming meme audience, but I'm really actually talking about the general crypto community. And if you take a survey from your average crypto. Someone involved in crypto, they'll give you something like, Bogdanoff, Polkadot, blah blah blah. These people are actually unaware of Monero. When I say that, private by default, it's almost unbelievable. To be honest,
I don't know who this guy is. Spirobel. I mean, he's just lots of comments here, all negative and contrary to basically anything we're saying. You're saying. So what is it, man? Spirobel, what do you want to see the Monero community do? He's saying it's because the community is small and full of shizos. We need to evolve. LOL. Okay, so evolve, man. Go for it. Do it. You are the community. No, he said no. He doesn't want to. Okay. Like, people are so funny. It's like they try to blame, like, we're just community members. Everybody's just a community member. There's no leader in this movement.
I think when he says the Monero community is small, that is my point. That is, like, we are unbelievably small compared to shit like XRP community.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The Shiba Inu army. So and that is basically my point in terms of the wider crypto community don't know what Monero is, and obviously that means they're not a part of. I think when you actually understand the Monero, you will become a part. I mean, if you have like half a brain cell to appreciate privacy, you'll support Monero.
Oh, and he says he is all right. So he is working on it. Cool. Good, man. Good for you. You're welcome to come on Monerotopia anytime if you want to. It seems like you're working on a CCS for a video. I don't know what that is. If you want to tell us more about it, you have an article, post your article in the comments section. We'll check that out. 100%. if you ever want to. All right, so you are taking action. You're not just trolling here on the comments. So yeah, so people should jump into the Telegram group, right? Let's just. I'm sure we want to build that up, right? So it builds momentum there with the group that's interested in helping coordinate this. Like I said, any other general advice to people listening, what they should do, or to really just continue to spread the word about this, right? I guess would be the one.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Spirobel's he's right in terms of the Monero community being small. Maybe I advise people to buy some Monero stickers and blitzkrieg your local town community with Monero stickers.
Yeah, anything you could do to grow Monero, obviously. So do you so other than price suppression being an issue, what else do you think needs to be done in the Monero community? Obviously, we need to grow the community. What do you think should be done to do that? Do you think that's something that's just naturally going to happen as it grows in its value that it's offering to society? Obviously, there are people that use Monero today they have a real need for it. Do you think that need is just going to naturally grow? The audience that requires something like digital cash is naturally going to grow, or do you think there's work that needs to be done to grow?
Yeah, for sure. Logically, I'm not responsible for Monero being used in the dark web, but that, like it or not, that came naturally based on Monero's utility. But let's not try and jump the gun in terms of thinking this is all. In your intro, something about believing Monero can be stopped. And personally, I'm going to be honest. I found that I discovered Monero very late in my career in cryptocurrency, and I'm a bit of a privacy. I'm a privacy madman, to be honest. And so, when I discovered it, yeah. So it's this. To be honest, everyone just needs to continue what they're doing in terms of preaching, not preaching, but forcing Monero down people's throats.
Why do you think you discovered it so late, given that you're kind of the perfect customer for it?
Because I found this. I've observed this with the other people as well. It's because cryptocurrency, Bitcoin's pseudo-anonymous anyway, and it's not private by default. But if you take the right steps, it's not that complicated to anonymize your blockchain trails and cut any transaction ties to any KYT or KYC in terms of there's so many tools to still be anonymous with cryptocurrency. When you're able to do that, you don't actually initially see that you don't need to see the needs for it's just not in your consciousness private by default. And to be honest, when I actually only started really digging into the private by default cryptocurrencies is when I was being, someone really was preaching about the time will come when every crypto address will be KYC'd with the rollout of central bank digital currencies. An agenda of this blockchain movement is to KYC everyone's cryptocurrency holdings. So that was, and obviously when that I was aware when that time comes, my tools that I was using, it's not going to be enough. So I think actually originally the solution that someone gave would be Zcash. They said, the ruling elite will be using this thing called Zcash. And then to be honest, then someone quickly mentioned, look into Monero, and I was like, yeah, it's no turning back really. It's really a red pill moment.
Yeah, once you find it and you discover it, there's no turning back. Especially once the light bulb clicks and you see the value there, and you see that there's really nothing else that's fulfilling that use case. I want to put the word out. So we're probably going to wrap up pretty soon. But if there's anybody that wants to jump up on stage, Sunita, you want to throw the link out there? Spirobel, it seems like you got a lot to say, and I apologize. It looks like you are doing a lot of hard work in the community. So maybe you want to jump up and talk on the stage. Come on up. Anybody else? Everybody's welcome.
Put the link in there. Please join us.
I just don't like to listen to this price talk, paper Monero conspiracy stuff. Yeah, I got you. Spirobel saying like he sees this as a waste of time. I think talking about price talk and whether, because maybe he's right. Maybe there is no naked shorts happening or whatever. There's no paper Monero being sold. It's all just us imagining this because the price is low, and and whether it's happening or not, we should just be focusing on building the protocol and trying to grow the community. So I definitely see that side of the argument.
If that's if it's his opinion that there's no price suppression, okay, that's his opinion. We're all entitled to opinions.
Yeah. What I would say to him is to look at it the way we were talking about it too. Is all right, forget about price. This doesn't even have to be. It's about taking your Monero off of exchanges, and if we all do it on one day, it will bring more focus and attention to it, and it will really become a meme in the community, and we would really get the word out in a strong way. So whether or not that's even going to affect the price and create some short squeeze or effect on these exchanges that may be selling paper Monero, it doesn't really matter. Be interesting to see it happen. I think we'd all be very, very excited in a way to see it happen and know that we cause the exchanges to act appropriately moving forward.
And I don't think it requires that much, to be honest.
People took their Monero off the exchanges, which is a great thing, and that's a great cause to push. So, and yeah, you're saying it wouldn't even take that much to have an effect.
Yeah, to be honest, whether it's coincidence or not, in May, when I was actually, I took the decision to put all my Bitcoin and Ethereum into Monero. I was anonymizing the trails. And obviously at that time I was okay, I'm going to put all my equity in Monero now. And I don't know, coincidentally, when I was withdrawing this amount of Monero, halfway through my transactions is when it started halting on Binance.
Let me see if anybody want to jump on, guys, because we're going to close it out. So I see people talking about we need more merchants accepting Monero, and people just we need make it easier for people to accept Monero. I will say from our own personal experience, like we said, we had Gratuitas, and we did it in a workaround way. We didn't really, because we didn't want to. I don't know. We're not super techie. You know? We know how to hold our Monero, and we've done that for quite some time. But we don't like to get in the weeds too much, just because we don't want to make mistakes. So we had, with Gratuitous, like even now currently, and we're changing that. But when you place an order, we email you and say, hey, send your payment to this Monero address. Certainly not the ideal way to do. But now we've automated it on Monerotopia, and it was super easy. We used WordPress, integrated it with WooCommerce. Once again, I'm not a very technical person, but I was able to get this all up and running.
Yeah.
And then from there, just added the Now Payments plugin to WooCommerce. And that was super simple. I know there's other ways to do it as well. But when you do it that way, you're accepting all cryptos and you can get your payment in Monero. So anybody that's like on the fence, like, oh, I want to add Monero, but I don't know how to do it. And if I could do it, you can most certainly do it. And now it's super slick checkout. So it's there. The tech is all there. We just need to get the word out and let people know that it is easy to do, and this is how you do it.
He's trying to jump on, but the link doesn't work, I guess.
Link doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I just copied and sent it. I mean, just make sure you're on a web browser, not on. It doesn't work on Safari.
Okay.
FYI, but it works on the phone though. So.
Yeah, that's strange. Maybe try it again.
Yeah, I just sent him the link again.
Hey man, anything else you want to close out with? Any other comments?
Not on my half.
Okay. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for taking the initiative with this movement. If you ever want to jump back on Monerotopia to keep building it up, please don't hesitate.
For sure. When I sort out this deep fake. I'll be eager.
What is the? I always see the bag and what is it called? The guy's name? What's the name? Yeah. What is the story behind that meme? I don't even know. The plastic surgery.
It's a cryptocurrency meme. It's in trading, the day-to-day trader. Obviously, most people make decisions Well, this is my theory because the movement of the market is based on mass psychology, and if you're going with the mass psychology, I guess there'll always be a player that plays against you. I mean, when try trading, it feels like sometimes there's an unseen entity.
Oh, so he's the guy working
market.
behind scenes that has the real info that's going the other way.
Yeah.
I always see the pick. I just never.
How's it going?
Represent.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
Yes,
what's going on,
hi.
man? Thanks for jumping up. We hear you.
We hear you. Hello? Hello.
Spirobel, we hear you. We heard you. Now we hear you typing.
Hello?
Are you still there?
Hey, how's it going? I think somehow I can't hear you,
Oh,
but
Oh,
you can hear me.
yes, we
Yes,
we
we
hear
can hear
you.
you.
You can't hear us.
yeah.
Maybe you have something setting there. You want to just
You just want to
Hey, cool.
give us your
Okay.
final
Please.
thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah. So I still can't hear you, so I don't know how to fix this.
Oh, he can't hear us. Yes. We can hear you. You can
yeah, just talk a little bit, and then we'll
before we close
unfortunately won't be
out.
able
Yeah.
to really ask him questions because
Is he reading the chat? Unmute the volume.
yeah, you must have something muted on your end.
He can't.
Yeah, I
hear
think
us.
now I can hear you. Now I can
All
hear
right.
you.
Hello,
All right,
yes.
we worked it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it was just because I had my headset connected and then it was connected with my computer at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah, and
okay.
it didn't work out. Cool. Yeah, I didn't want to come off as negative or something. I just think that like this thing doesn't really matter much. Like I don't care much because I don't have my Monero in an exchange, and it seems like this is like this kind of meme, like similar to the GameStop thing. And I mean, did you follow the GameStop thing, like how it ended and how it worked out? So
I followed it a little bit. I mean, I know they meme the coin to
Okay.
the moon by
somehow this thing
Shorting
still
it.
doesn't work.
or buying the
I
naked.
think by default though, this people follow price, so I assume if we see some more the real price of Monero, and this will draw awareness and grow the community in itself. To be honest, because most people follow price.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And like I said, it's a win-win. Worst case, it just gets everybody to start taking their Monero off the exchange. Best case,
Exactly,
people take
it
the
highlights-
Monero
it
off the
highlights.
exchange.
But
and
at this
also
point, why wouldn't they already have taken it off? Like at this point, like because there was so much talk in the Reddit group, and I mean, it seems like anybody who would have taken off their Monero of Binance. And actually, I also had trouble because somebody paid me in Monero during this time when you couldn't withdraw, and it was really annoying because he couldn't pay me because he's not a Monero hodler, so. It's really annoying to have this problem that you can't withdraw sometimes and these weird things that happen. But at the same time, like I think it doesn't really matter.
So you
my
don't
equity is in Monero, so it is. I don't, to trade you have to have equity. So I don't hold Bitcoin. I only hold Monero, so I have to have it on my exchange, and that's that's most traders.
But why do you have to have it on the exchange? I mean, you can just have it in your wallet, like I do. Like for example, I just have sometimes people pay me in Monero and they are not Monero hodlers. So that's the only reason why this ever became a problem for me, that like Binance that you couldn't withdraw for some time. But I think actually, I think we should just move the community away from this kind of stuff and move it towards, okay, how can we improve the user experience? How can we make it easier to sell stuff in Monero? Like, for example, the stuff that you said about like WordPress and how easy it is to set up Monero payments. I think it's so cool. So, I mean, why don't we talk more about these kind of things and make it even more easy? Because I think at the moment to set up a WordPress store is still like a barrier to entry. It should be way easier to sell things with Monero, like these kind of things. This is, and also having a browser wallet, like that's like if you look at MetaMask and this whole like DeFi stuff, it's so easy to just interact with websites. You just have one click. You don't need to use a second app, and it's in your browser. Like this stuff is so cool. There's so much innovation going on there, and we just ignore it and focus on this kind of I don't want to.
Man. I mean, at least on this show, 98% of Monero Talk and Monerotopia is talking about developments in the Monero community, talking about the tech. We
I don't want to criticize this show. Like, I think this show is great. But I feel like the Reddit is full of this kind of. I still think that. I mean, even a little bit on the show, you have this kind of undercurrent in the Monero community that people are a bit like scared, because it's always about, okay, the government, and maybe it's also part of being libertarian, that you have these kind of ideas about, okay, the big government, and we are the poor, small people that get attacked by the government. And you're always in this defensive mode of thinking, where actually it would be so much better to like be creative. And I don't know, do you agree with this, or do you think it's wrong?
Whoa, I'm getting a lot of. Okay. Yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying in terms of those are all good things to focus on. And I think that 100% should be the focus. Building the community, talking about the tech, making it so Monero becomes more usable and is used by more people. That's 100% should be the focus of what we do. Anybody that's in the Monero community, that's what they should want to focus on. But that being said, price is a real thing, right? It reflects the interest in the project as a whole. When the price is low and not really performing, that indicates that people aren't interested in Monero. Now, we know that people are, and they actually use it. And when you look at the transaction counts, everything those charts, our number go up, and those are great. And we always talk about that. But that's the Monero community gets that. But anybody outside of the Monero community, first thing they look at is the price, and then they watch the price, and that's what they see. That's the indicator they're looking at. So it's important to help, get the price moving, especially with the whole market going up. So I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about price as well. And in this instance where we're saying, all right, well, let's remove our Monero from exchanges because it might cause, it might force exchanges to have the Monero they're selling. I think that's great, because we don't know what's actually going on. So, what do we have to lose? And worst case scenario, more people end up just learning about Monero and the need to take it off exchanges. Best case scenario is they take it off exchanges and we actually expose the real problem where there was naked shorting. So it's all good. I mean, I think we need to do all things. I don't think it's like one or the other. I don't think it's like, all right, we only talk tech talk and about integrating Monero into markets, but we also talk about price once in a while and what might be happening there, what we can do to get more people buying Monero. I think both things are. There's no reason why we can't talk about all those things.
I just want to. I think it's not about tech. It's about the vibe. Like, I just feel the vibe, and this is just one example of this vibe that is different from, for example, the Ethereum community. You see, like, the vibe there is completely different. They don't care about privacy, about anything. They are also not really scared about anything about the government and regulation. They actually like regulation. They talk, like, if you, for example, look at the Bankless podcast, what's going on over there, like the way they talk, it's a different vibe than in the Monero community. And I think we should learn a bit from them. We should try to learn to focus more on creating a vibe where we just creating things and vibing with, like, not trying to be scared, like not trying to think about like these kind of exchanges and the government and this and that. And,
but those are all real things. I mean, the U.S. government has a bounty out on trying to trace Monero, right? we saw some exchanges delist Monero. These aren't like all hypotheticals. We saw that happen. These things happen. We're seeing governments talking about their concern with how Monero is used in the dark markets and how Monero is used to make ransomware payments. We see very serious discussions taking place about it, and so they're real. Ultimately, then what I always say is, well, it's not a concern because Monero is built to be resistant to all that. So, but I don't see how you don't talk about it. It's a topic that applies to Ethereum. That topic doesn't apply to Ethereum.
If you really believe in this, like if you really believe that Monero works, we shouldn't talk about it. We should just imagine we already live in this libertarian utopia and just act as if it would already be reality and just ignore the government and taxes and all the stuff. Just sell stuff, like we make our own small little lemonade stands in the digital realm and build our own small like little Monero shops and just sell digital goods and teach this to other people and make it as simple as possible. Like just make the user experience more slick. And we just talk about this stuff and we just imagine like for example, if somebody is like an entrepreneur and he wants to start something, people start to worry about taxes and regulations, and you spend years just researching the stuff before you actually focus on your business, and you get so distracted that you never do anything. So we should just say, okay, forget about all this stuff. You just make your own small shop with Monero and you sell something. And I think we should just cultivate this vibe instead of just.
I don't disagree with you.
Government
I don't disagree. I mean, we started Gratuitas. We sell coffee, and you could tip farmers with Monero. We're adding new products. I mean, like you don't get a better example of that. You could buy coffee with Monero, and you can send tips with Monero to the farmers. Working on a real use case. We started a show called Monerotopia. It's not called, government's trying to kill us and take all. It's a positive vibe, right? It's exactly what the theme of the show is. We've opted into Monerotopia. We've opted out of the traditional mainstream society, and we're encouraging others to do so. That's how you win, right? I always say that the worst enemy to Monero isn't, some government that may regulate it. It's people believing that Monero can be stopped, because it ultimately can't. So the way we win is, and I couldn't agree with you more, is by just opting into Monero. And if people it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and the technology itself can't be stopped. And the only thing stopping it is people hesitating and not opting in because they're scared that it could be stopped. So I can't agree. I couldn't possibly agree with you more. I'm all for doing more things in that direction. I think we do our fair share of that, but I also think I don't think it's smart, or not. I don't want to say smart. I don't see any reason why we would ignore the other side of those things. Because I mean, that gets the word out about Monero too. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people learned about Monero through the ransomware hacks and through the fact that it's used on the dark market. I mean, people are learning about it because of that too, whether or not you agree with those use cases. So why ignore that stuff? Why ignore the fact that governments are talking about it in a negative way? I'm a confrontational person. I ran for Congress because of my belief in Monero and belief in the fact that Monero is free speech money and that it actually aligns with the values of this country. So rather than, staying anonymous behind the scenes, coming out saying, wait, whoa, why are we talking about this in a negative way? Monero is great. It's perfectly legal. It would be, there'd be no way legally.
I'm not saying you should ignore it. It's cool. Like we can talk about it, but I think the focus should be about how like a normal person that is just like tuning into the show can build their own business or sell something or offer something of value in Monero, and why Monero makes this more easy. And I believe so. I think that Monero is way better than any other cryptocurrency because it has low fees and it's easy to just use it as money because it's private. Like if you sell stuff on Ethereum or do these NFT stuff, like everybody can see what you're doing, and that actually Monero could remove a lot of anxiety because you don't need to worry about many things if people cannot see like every single transaction you do. But the issue is, I just feel that the vibe right now is more focused on fear and not enough on how we can make a business or how other people can make a business. I think your show is great, and the stuff you do with gratuitous, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Like, yeah, like, I mean, this is cool, but the question is, how can I do it? How can somebody else do it? Because like there should be more guidance. And I mean, this is also what I wrote in this article, this idea that, okay, we are like a farmer society. We all like have our own little farms and we help each other out and try to build something. And yeah, I would just be happy if we could focus a bit more on that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Maybe we could add an element to Monerotopia where it's a weekly thing where, you know, because obviously we talk about gratuity, but obviously anybody's welcome to come on the show and talk about anything. But we can make it a weekly part of the show where people talk about how they're currently using Monero or a website that they want to talk.
Yeah, like how to build a business with Monero,
Yeah,
how to be like
how to start.
your own.
How to start.
Well, you said you have a CCS out where you're trying to make a video about that?
No, there was this CCS thing recently that people should make a video tutorial to do what you did recently, like at the Monero WooCommerce thing. And I basically did this because a while ago I bought Monerochan.city because I want to build like a city where Monero-chan can live with her friends and like we can all like chill out. But basically like I just used this domain to just do this video tutorial. So set up a product, and I just filmed, like recorded the stuff. So, and now I need to cut it so that it makes it easier for normies to just set up their web shop.
Yeah.
I will say, you know, all your points are heard, and I agree with everything. You know, these are all things that we should be focusing on. I think we are to a pretty large degree. For those people that, you know, that have comments like these, like, oh, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. So then just do it. You know, there's no we should be. It's if you think we should be doing it, then that means you should go do it. And that's how it happens. It's the only way it happens. So anybody that wants to see,
and this is a platform where you can come and share it.
Right. This is you could come here on this platform, talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. If you want to see a video that's explaining how to integrate Monero into WooCommerce, well, go make the video. Go do a CCS. You'll get the funding, and if the community thinks there's a need there, it'll get funded. Definitely things like that, they're going to get funded. So people just need to take the initiative. So I often see a lot of people show frustration in like the direction that things may be headed. If you're frustrated in any way, you have to get out there and kind of lead by example, start doing it yourself. And that's the only way you're going to, you know, get these things to happen. But great comments.
To end it all, mine Monero, back the attack. Mine Monero, back the attack.
100%.
Contribute. You can just, if you have some laptop lying around your house, it's the beauty of Monero. You can just run the Monero GUI and mine it. It doesn't take much electricity. It's not like Bitcoin, but you're adding to the security of the network. So that's one thing I'd like to add.
Right, especially that it's
I don't think it's any
mineable.
complicated to mine it as well. Yeah, it's very simple. It's the beauty, another beauty of Monero.
And with the CPU, you actually can compete, and so you have a chance of kind of getting some Monero at a decent cost, right, in terms of electricity, as opposed to something like Bitcoin where you just can't do that. You can't compete with the ASICs. Mine Monero, run a full node, use Monero, buy Monero, take it off the exchanges when you buy it. When you're out there in the real world, ask people to accept Monero, tip your waiter in Monero. All these things will help grow Monero. but it's not about looking at the community and always be, oh, we should do this, we should do that. Just you go do it, and others will do it as well. But all good points, man. Spirobel, or I can't. What is it?
Spirobel, yeah, I guess.
Spirobel.
Spirobel.
You're welcome on the show anytime.
It's not about profitability of mining Monero. It's about contributing to the security. I'm not saying it's it's mine it to make a living. I'm saying back the attack, mine Monero.
Totally agree with that. But I'm just saying it just happens to be something that you can mine on your CPU, right? So it's even more enticing because of that. And then with things like P2 pool, you could essentially solo mine with the advantage of being in a pool together, but without having to chip in fees to a pool and without giving up power to a person that's running the pool. So there's so many reasons why you'd probably want to mine Monero if you're a Monero advocate.
Alrighty, yeah.
I think we're going to close it out. Any last comments
okay.
for those that are on the stage?
Yeah, it was fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on, man.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Never had trouble.
Thank you also for jumping on.
Go put the link to his Telegram
yeah,
group on there. Throw it in the
description.
chat. Keep following this, guys. Let's see what the date is that they want to actually take action. It's going to be maybe April 7th or April 15th. Spreading that meme. I think it's a great thing to do. I see no reason why we shouldn't participate in this and spread that. It's all good stuff. All right, guys, we're gonna close it out.
Yeah, close it out. Thank you guys for joining in, and don't forget to get your Monerotopia tickets too.
Oh yes,
the early bird. Go to Monerotopia.com. And
where you could use your Monero.
You can use your Monero to purchase your tickets. Look at that. There's another platform where you can use your Monero, and also gratuitas.org if you want delicious coffee. Again, another platform. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Adios.
Ciao, guys.